Good afternoon, guys, or good evening for some of y'all. Welcome to Ride Vapey, the Ride Share channel. Sorry to have my sunglasses, but as you can see, we actually do have sun going my way. So at this point, it's around 4 p.m. and I'm leaving my home to basically work Lyft. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that because I'm sure a lot of you guys, you don't have these cool bonuses, and I've been getting like some comments like, well, how do you make this kind of money and others don't? And then other thing is, I got a really cool comment today from one of my viewers. He said that you have to play hard to get, and that is exactly what I was trying to tell you guys. If you play hard to get, like with anything, with anybody, it's like you will get that, even though you're not trying to get it. So if you are really easy, then nobody really wants you, you know, that kind of thing. And also, if you have a backup plan, then you're safe, then you feel secure. If you don't, you'll act very hungry. And this is when it comes to like anything, like with jobs, you have like no negotiating power, like nothing to really stand on. It's kind of like almost like I ask myself that, like, why is it that when you have a good business going, you have everything's going for you, all of a sudden everybody's asking you to be their business partner, or they want to give you a good paying job? And I'm thinking, like, you know, I don't need that. Like, I'm good. I still get offers. Like, I've been self-employed since 2007, and I'm not going back. Like, I'm not going to become an employee. And I also excuse me, I also do not want any business partners, especially friends, best friends as your business partners. If you value that friendship, do not do a business with them, because ultimately that's going to destroy your relationship, because money will do that. So that being said, let's cover the first little thing that I mentioned, is like when it comes to playing hard to get. Okay, so you know how you don't work for a while for Lyft and Uber? Let's say you quit both of them, right? Maybe this was your side hustle, right? Well, now you're gonna get like some kind of email from them. They're gonna offer you like this special bonus to come back. They want drivers to come back, you know? Like, there's literally like a bonus that they give you for recruiting old drivers. Like, why is that? They miss those old drivers, so they're willing to give a recruiter a bonus. They're willing to give a bonus to the driver, and at that point, when once they got him, they want to grease the wheel, as they say. So they're gonna offer him all these nice bonuses. They're gonna give him like very good trips that pay a little bit more. And I don't know, maybe it's all in the algorithm, you know. I don't know much about it, but like I think it is an algorithm. There's not like nobody sitting there saying, you know what, let's give this guy a little bit better, you know, type of pay. It doesn't work like that. So if you don't want to quit for a while and then get those type of offers, just simply turn one app off. You could turn it on every once in a while. I'm talking about like turning it on. Don't go online, like don't work for them. Or maybe if you do like work a few trips, act like you don't need them. Like you'll just do like one trip or two, that's it. Like all of a sudden they get desperate. They're gonna start like posting some bonuses there, and I've been noticing that. Like, so my approach is I just shut one app off, okay? You know, well, I wanna mention this thing. Somebody said to me earlier, Uber's better than Lyft. Man, I don't know what the heck is wrong with me. I'm like, well, I haven't drank that. Well, I drink tea, not necessarily water. But anyways, somebody said that, oh, Lyft is not better. Like Uber's way better. Like Lyft is worse. And you know, I'll tell you this: nobody's better. Lyft is not better, and Uber is not better. Lyft is better for me right now, and Uber might be better for you right now, and it's because of the timing. Maybe you getting better offers because maybe you've done a good job and somehow the algorithms really like you, or maybe you just taken some time off and now all of a sudden you're getting some great offers. So that might be the case. So if you want great offers, simply just don't work for them, and then they get desperate, then they want you back, while you're reaping all the benefits of another app. Now, speaking of other apps, I do want to mention this. I have created my own app. It's actually called Ride VIP. I have total of 5 apps. I have a rider and a driver app for iOS, rider and a driver app for Android, and then I have an admin panel. I already have the app, as they say, sealed and delivered, you know. I got it. I haven't had a chance to really upload it to the App Store. Recently I got my admin account with Google Play Store, and I tried getting one with iOS, but they want me to contact them, and I really don't have time for that. But at the same time, it's not a right opportunity for me right now to try to launch anything like that, because I like to have a backup plan, and that's what I was talking to you guys about. Have a backup plan. So why am I bringing up the app? Well, last year, right around, I'd say like November, no, like October, something like that. It's like so irrelevant, and I'm here correcting myself, you know. I started having, at that point, I did maybe like 1,500 rides for Lyft, and I was only working for Lyft. And in that time, people are asking me for business cards. So here I am giving away business cards, blah, blah, blah. And then I think all of a sudden, I'm like thinking like, I'm giving away all these business cards. I take around like 1,500 passengers in such a short span. I believe it was like from July when I started, and not even 6 months. And I already delivered so many people. So it got me thinking. Yeah, really sorry about that, guys. Scratch your voice for some reason, you know, like it's just, I mean, throat, you know, it's just kind of weird all of a sudden. But anyways, I started thinking like, well, what if all these people decide to call me at once? Will I even be able to handle all the phone calls? And the answer was, no, I will not. But you know what, I always think big. Usually when somebody's creating business, they give away all these business cards, and they think, hopefully somebody calls me. Not me. I'm thinking everybody's gonna call me. I will not have no time. That's how I think. I have an abundance mindset, and with an abundance mindset, I'm able to focus on, you know, achieving some higher level type of things. At least to me, somebody else achieving like way higher thing. Like I'm like nowhere over there, you know, on that scale. But it's okay for me, you know, like for my level in life, it's fine, you know, what I'm doing. But anyways, at 41 also, like you kind of like at the point of kind of like midlife crisis, if you consider you're going to be like an 80-year-old, you know, and then you could die, you know. So it's kind of like midlife crisis. So I want to make sure like, hey, am I enjoying my life? Hey, am I doing everything correctly? Am I doing the job that I like? Can I do this better? Can I improve and build some kind of big business? This is why I'm working on several plans, which I will name in this video. But firstly, here was the solution for me to the problem of having so many phone calls, because eventually it's going to happen. Eventually you're going to give away enough business cards to where like everybody's calling you and they're like, hey, you know, can you do this? And people do call me. Usually I'm like not even there, like in that location, and they don't want to pay much for me to pick them up. But you know, either way. So my answer was, hey, what if I create my own app? So I started already thinking like this in my mind. What would it take? I'm not a software developer. I don't know nothing about creating apps. Shit, I never even thought about it before, you know? But I'm thinking, if I create my own app, the app could manage all these riders for me, and I could just be a driver working for myself on the app. I could just log in. I have the ability to have other drivers cover me or whatever, so they could download the app. So that's an advantage. If somebody may be closer, they could take the ride. And that means I'm advertising word of mouth here in Charlotte, and I'm thinking Charlotte and surrounding areas could be my areas that I focus on instead of focusing on the whole market, you know. And that means if I have promoted myself enough to where everybody knows my service, right, they could just download my app. And that means other drivers, if they download my app, they'll have basically my customers, and I'll be able to take them around, you know. So it kind of makes sense. But anyways, so how did I started creating my own app? I want to tell you that because I'm sure you're kind of like wondering, how did I do that? because that seems very, very serious, you know, for some people. For some of you guys, like, I know exactly how you did it. But anyways, one day, you know, we deliver all kinds of people, but I already put that thought in my mind. And so I got this one guy in my vehicle, and he was like South Africa, and immediately I'm thinking like Elon Musk, you know. But anyways, I asked this guy, I'm like, hey, you look like you're a software developer, are you? And he says, I actually am. I said, okay, that's great. I said, you're probably really good, right? He's like, yeah. I said, how long you been a software developer? He says, since year 2000. I'm like, well, I graduated high school in like 1999. So he's like, oh, okay. Like, I said, do you like it? He's like, man, I love it. Like, it's my life, you know? And I'm like, wow, that is great. I said, can you create apps? He's like, yeah, I could do that. I said, would you be able to create an app just like an Uber app or Lyft? A similar app, like not an exact copy? And he says, yeah, I could do that. I said, well, what would that take? You know what his answer was? He says, you can't afford it. I cannot afford it. What do you mean? He's like, it's very expensive. I'm like, oh, can you break it down for me? Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't even know me. Like, I'm thinking that in my mind. Like, you don't know me. Like, you don't know how much money I got. But he's probably like judging me. Like, it's just a driver. Like, you know, he's just taking me in his little Nissan Altima, which is like not even brand new, you know, which is like 2013. But you know what? A lot of people that are rich, like, look at Warren Buffett. Okay, I'm just gonna name one guy. He's driving like a Suburban, like, I don't know, from like 1999 or something, that's been through a hailstorm. Does he need to drive a vehicle that's been through a hailstorm, like, that he just bought it like used with all his dents? It's kind of weird, but that's what he said a long time ago. But anyways, moving on. So I started like asking him, like, well, how much would it be approximately, like, with money, like, you know, tell me. And he says roughly $250,000 to $500,000. I said, well, it sounds like it's a lot of money, but I said, it doesn't sound unreasonable, you know. I mean, it could happen. You put your mind to something, and if it's a good idea, you get some investors behind it, and before you know it, you know, you got your app, you know. Of course, there's a bigger picture than creating an app. So immediately I started like thinking, like, okay, this is America. Apps here are expensive. I did some research, and yeah, it could even cost you $1 million, you know. But his price point was about right. So I got his number. I saved his number. I got it, and I put it in my phone. But you know what he said? Like, once I gave him some kind of key things, like what I was thinking about doing, you know. He's like, hey, I could partner up with you. How about we could become partners, and I'll create it, you know, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, I'm not looking for partners. And he wanted to like really sell me an idea of having him as a partner, because he could like do this and that. Why would you make your IT guy, for instance, right, like your partner? Like, okay. Immediately, like, in my mind, like, I'm thinking, like, how much money does these companies make? I'll tell you guys. I wanna bring this one little point up, and then I'll move on. Anyways, did you know Uber tried to launch in China? They failed. You know how much money they made for their failure? $4 billion. So Uber invested $3 billion in, like, guys, that's like billions, you know. Like, we're talking about some app like 250 to 500,000, like maybe $1 million. We're talking about, like, wow, expensive app. So Uber tries to launch in China, and they failed. And so the Chinese company that CCP, whatever, supported, they were all for it, you know, and they were not for Uber, obviously. But guess what ultimately happened? Uber spent $3 billion, and they got bought out for $7 billion. Wow, nice failure. They made $4 billion in the process. You know, this is how much these companies make sometimes. Like, they got billions and billions on profits. But anyways, moving on. Why would I want to share? Let's just say I have a software developer. I made $4 billion, and I'm going to give him $2 billion. Like, what kind of sense does that make? I'd rather hire a bunch of software developers, a bunch of people, like, and use that money for actually, like, really, like, growing my company. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I think. But that's what I'm telling you. Like, everybody wants to be a partner once they smell a little bit of success, and before you know it, like, they want to do that. I mean, I'm always about like helping people and helping somebody grow and do the thing, because I'm always going to do my thing. I never stop at this one thing and say, well, I'm going to be a driver for life. When I got this job, I was thinking, how can I grow my business by having this job? And what kind of business are we talking about? I mentioned earlier in yesterday's video that I own 33 cars, and I already own my own commercial zone property for cash and my own home for cash. So I'm thinking about, like, okay, sure, I'm in contact with everybody here. I know I could use the internet and stuff to promote car sales, car parts, or whatever. But what if? But I got these people in my car. Sometimes I talk to them, and can I use that somehow to my advantage to have an extra sales job or something? You know, that's how I think. And then eventually I came up with, of course, the app. But I don't stop with my other ideas. Sometimes I put them on pause, because there's only so much you could do with your time. There's not enough time, you know, to go around. So just so you know, guys, and maybe you feel differently about that, I am not chasing money. Just so you know, I chase opportunities. Like, for me, this Uber job, this Lyft job, it's not a job. This is an opportunity to build businesses. As I'm driving, I'm always wondering, what can I do to maximize my earnings, not just with Uber, but I have all these people. That means it's this could be relationships that you could build with them, like business relationships. I get some interesting people in here. You know, sure, I get some regular people, but that's cool too. You know, it's no problem. But some people are interested, and I'm sure, like, you've found those people too. And I've talked to a lot of them, and I said to some of them, I'm like, man, like, you're really interesting. Some of them are really rich. I said, like, to some people, I'm like, hey, I want to launch a YouTube channel where I talk to, like, all these successful people, and are you willing to go on, like, a podcast or like a show that I will create, and to basically explain to the world, like, what made you successful, like, what did you do, and that kind of thing. Like, have like some kind of like a nice interview like that, where it could actually help other people to be a little bit more successful by getting a little piece of information. Sure, there's already a lot of that going on the internet, but not with the same type of people. And they're like, yeah, no problem. So I give them my business card, I get in contact with them, but I'm still, like, always, like, thinking, like, okay, I got a lot of rich people in here too that don't want to tip, but still, some of them do. But that also means, like, hey, what if I built a business around selling real estate? And then this is why I have the Keller Williams shirt, that kind of thing. I bought a bunch of them when I was at the event in I was in Austin, Texas for a 4-day event that cost $800. Well, it cost me a lot more because I have to do a hotel as well. That's just the excess. And we were, like, way up front, and got a chance to meet a bunch of cool people. I made a lot of real estate connections, and as you can see, this is like right out of the blue. And how did I do that? Because, again, I got some interesting people in the back, and I started talking to them, and I said, well, guys, you know, well, the first they asked me, I was already in real estate school, but that is that. Like, you're just in real estate school, you don't know nobody. So there's I'm still in real estate school, by the way, guys. So these people get in my car, and they're like, hey, I actually have a video of them. If you guys want, I can post that video. People get really excited. You know, if you're excited about something, people get excited about that. So I was taking these people on a date, a man and a woman. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to leave them alone. I said, here's what I said to them. I said, guys, would you like some music? They're like, sure. What do you got? I said, I can play whatever you want. I was driving a Tesla at that point. And what are you in the mood for? And her man says, she likes either Christian music or gangster rap. And I'm like, well, which is it today? Gangster rap. I'm like, okay, fine. I put some rap. It was like Rap X on the thing. So the guy was like rapping about some, you know what, bits, you know. And they had a little laugh and everything, so it was all cool. And And then sun was over, and they're like, hey, what else do you do besides this? And I started telling, hey, you know, I deal with cars. I sell used car parts on eBay and on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist and whatnot. And I said, I'm in real estate school right now, this and that. They're like, you know who we are? I said, no. He says, we're real estate agents. I said, really? Well, that is awesome. He's like, well, she's the best real estate agent real estate agent trainer in the country. And she's some kind of like, I don't know, CEO, CFO, whatever for the one of the locations. She's basically a lady in charge, maybe with like, I don't know, with some kind of partners, which I really did not get into it. But he's like a really good, like a luxury real estate agent and also trainer. He's got a team and everything, and basically husband and wife, you know. So I'm like, okay, wow, that's awesome. So I started talking to them. Next day, I don't mess around. Like, I don't even like waste some time. They're like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I said, well, I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. They're like, would you like to stop by our office tomorrow? I said, sure. What time? They're like, I think it's like noon or something. I said, I'll be there, you know. So I went there. I stopped by. Immediately, I was treated like family. I got in there, and then I found out that there's an event going on in Austin, Texas. And before you know it, I was flying to Austin, Texas for the event, meeting a bunch of other people, going to all these exclusive type of like paid for dinners, mixers, parties, stuff like that. And it was like really, really cool. We went to a bunch of clubs, bunch of bars and whatnot. I got a chance to really meet some really big people, and they were telling me like, you know who that is? I'm like, no, that is like the top real estate agent for California for luxury. And I want to be in luxury when I get into real estate, because I'm thinking, well, that's where the money's at. If you're going to be like selling cheap properties, right, then you're going to have to really hustle, and, you know, and you're not going to make as much, because it takes just as much effort to close a luxury property than it is with closing a property that is like a cheap property, okay? So with a luxury, it would be even easier. A lot of them already going to be paying cash anyway, so they don't need a loan. They're not going to be worried about these very, very, very high interest rates. So then I started thinking, well, how could I make this work? Well, first, I meet some interesting people. Maybe we could collaborate. Second, I'm already a YouTuber. I have millions of views on my other channel, and I'm thinking like, what if I created a YouTube channel around me showing all these really luxury estates? Just create a channel, just record a bunch of videos just like I do. I create lots of content, and if I put this on YouTube, people that are looking to move, let's say to Charlotte, North Carolina, they could see those homes, and then they could, like, you know, contact me, and there you go. My work is done for me, because I'll have a website there. I'll have like everything, and my phone number, and they'll contact me, and they're like, hey, can you show me this place, or can you show me some similar properties? We've seen this property on YouTube, and is this you that's, you know, posting these videos? And, you know, they're kind of cool, whatever. But the videos would be like a different style, you know. There's a different style of video. Like, you see, these videos are regular type of videos. They're like conversation type of videos, which are non-edited. Real estate videos, especially when you're showing like homes, it's gonna be like heavily edited, like it's gonna be like beautiful, you know. You want to show everything nice, you want to do everything good, but at the same time have a little bit of fun, and make it all professional. Like, I would make it on the next level, you know. But that being said, you see, guys, how like, oh, there's like all these different ideas, you know. So the reason I'm bringing some of this stuff up is because it's funny, I still get comments like, hey, why don't you find another job, you know, like do something else. I am trying, and guess what, guys? In real estate, there's this thing called cold calling. So, okay, I hate cold calling. Okay, like, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I don't care about it. Like, why would I do it? Like, it's a waste of time for me. You know what I'm gonna do instead? Hop in my Uber, hop in my Lyft. I have passengers in the back, and I say, hey, what's up? You know, you guys live in Charlotte? Well, yeah. Oh, no, you're not. Where are you guys coming from? California? Oh, great, man. So what do you guys? What brings you down here? Oh, we're we're looking for like some real estate. I literally had the same like conversation. I'm like, really? Which area? Oh, Belmont. Oh, I know that area. I said, it's really beautiful there. It's historic. They're like, yeah. And I said, what made you look over there? What made you decide to move from California here? They're like, well, my house went up 3 times. I said, well, how much was your house? Like 300,000, which is like probably not a very exclusive house for California at 300,000, because you can't really get nothing for that much, you know? So it's like the home is now worth like 900,000. I'm gonna sell it quickly and get something for cash. So he found this property in Belmont for like $500,000. He's gonna live like a king and still have 100,000 left over. You know what I mean, guys? So there's all these different people get in. So when I'm doing Uber or Lyft, I'm not thinking about, oh, how much money can I make for this ride? Sure, sometimes I am. I'm not in real estate right now, and I'm not trying to sell in car parts either, you know, because selling car parts would really not work. But when I bring used cars into it, because I do have some used cars, immediately people are like, hey, do you have anything for sale? I want something immediately. And I said to, you know what I say to them? I say, no, I do not. I do not have anything for sale. Even though I do, but I don't want to deal with that right now. I just say no, basically. But I get the information because I don't want to like start talking about this and that. Like, I'm not shy about it. I'm not embarrassed. But I only want to sell stuff when it's completely ready. I don't want to show them something that's not, because a lot of stuff that I'm doing, I'm piling on top of each other, and I cannot even keep up with my own self. The only way you could do that is if you really hire a lot of people, and I do not hire anybody. I just have me and my kids and my wife. So sometimes I get help from my kids, sometimes from my wife, but you know, my wife is more like a trophy wife, and she's not there for like really helping with mechanical type of stuff, you know what I mean? Maybe like transferring a car, like delivering somewhere, yeah, like she could help me do that. That's no problem. But my 11-year-old and my 8-year-old, they do help me. They're boys, they love it, and stuff like that. So moving on, when it comes to real estate, and this was not gonna be like a real estate type of video, because this is like not even a goal. This is just only like one piece of advice that I wanted to give to you guys, because you could literally have a sales job. I don't care what it is. You could sell like solar panels, whatever. So these customers that you got with you in the back, take that opportunity to just talk to them. Like, talk to them like normal. Don't try to say, oh, I'm a real estate agent, blah, 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 buy a house for me. Like, no, they're not going to want to talk to you. You know, you're going to have a conversation, like normal conversation. Pretend that you're not a real estate agent, or you do not sell solar panels. Ask him like simple questions. Let's say if it's solar panels. I've never sold solar panels. Shoot, I've never sold real estate. I bought real estate. But that being said, let's say it's solar panels. You know, ask them, it's like, hey, you know, like, where do you live? Which area? Like, oh, such and such. You know, and ask them what the square footage of the home is. They're like, oh, such and such, you know. Oh, does it cost a lot to heat that home and to cool it? And, you know, they're like, yeah, no, man, I bet your electric bill is expensive. Like, yeah, it's quite a bit. You mind me asking what it is? Because I'm thinking about getting a home about that size. You know, my parents used to own a home like in Valentine, which was like $500–600 electric bill every month. They're like, yeah, it's about that. I'm like, yeah, because you got 2 HVACs, you have you know, like you know, if you don't have like no gas, you're just trying to heat upstairs, heat downstairs with 2 different units. You constantly watering your lawn because you're trying to keep it pretty. So $150–180 water bill. They're like, yeah, man, how did you know that? I'm like, yeah, it's a lot. So do you know, like right now, like there is like huge deals. So when it comes to solar panels, you could even get them free because of crazy government, like new green deals and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, I've heard something about that, but I've never done research. I'm like, yeah, if you want, I could give you some information on it if you want, or I could explain it, because I've been researching it so I could get some for my home or whatever. And I would say, you know what, like this is going to be like pretty much the cost for you. You know, you're going to save like 50% of your energy bills or whatever. You know, guys, simple stuff like that. It's just a normal conversation. I never told them one time like, hey, I want to sell you solar panels or whatever, because I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to build a connection, trying to build some kind of bond with the person. I'm not trying to sell them anything. I never try to sell people. I hate selling. Well, actually, I love selling, but not like that. You know, I just have to be honest with myself. I love having a sales job. I do not love the selling part of it, but I do love creating relationships. And I could ask the person like, hey, how can I help you? Like one last thing, and it's already like a 30-minute video. Yeah, it's just simple. So this last thing is, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like, thank you so much. Like, seriously, you guys like literally gave me this whole new idea that I'm now doing, I'm working on. I did not know it's gonna go anywhere, but I wanted to make some videos to help some people out, to motivate some people, and to share kind of like what I'm doing, and maybe we could share stuff with each other, and ultimately this will help motivate each other, and then you could go further in your life. And I think that's kind of important. It depends on who's your connection. You know, like what they say, show me your 10 friends and I'm going to show who you are. Well, I want to be that friend that's going to be like a successful friend that's on their way to basically, I will make millions. I already know that because I know how to do it. But in millions, it's going to be easy. Like, I think there's a possibility for me to make $1 billion, but maybe I'm dreaming. I don't care. Like, hey, what if I just reach it halfway? Let's just say I even wanted to do like 1 million. 500,000, that would be fine. Actually, I would reach that anyways. But thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you. See you guys in the next video. Let me know if you like this style video, guys, because I'm just heading to work. I got nothing better to do. You know, I used that line before, like with one of the passengers. Thank you for waiting. And they've been like 7 minutes. I said, no problem. I got nothing better to do. And they're like, they started laughing. Like, and that turned out to be a nice conversation. But some people, they don't respect your time at all. Like, and I just tell them it's like a sarcastic. I said, I got nothing better to do, you know. But anyways, guys, thank you. I'm going to post this video immediately. And while I'm headed to Charlotte, and hopefully you guys get to watch this, and hopefully you guys like it. You know, I don't know. You know, I hope. But anyways, guys, see you later. Bye-bye.